Lord, so that we can get hot. Oh my goodness, it is so good to see you guys. Hello, Heidi. Hello, Latifa. Latifa, you were here somewhere early. I love when I see you powerhouses logging in like 30 minutes early. I'm like, you're just as excited as I am. Hello, Beth and Yay Drake. Let's see who else we got on here. Christine and Wildine and Deidre. Rebecca, hey, my love. It's so good to see you. You've been missing in action for a while. Hello, hello, Sandra. Listen, there's so many of you on here. Just hello, family. If this is your first time here with us, where we do God's work. This is kingdom business where we know that God is the boss. If this is your first time here with us, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If this is your second time with us and you're back, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. And if we are stuck with you, like Sandra always usually beats me to the punch, but she didn't beat me to the punch today. If we're stuck with you because you're always here, put like Jakora did. Yes, Jakora, put family in the chat. Let me see who our first timers are. First, Latifa, welcome. Listen, I'm loving that bob that you're rocking on your profile picture. Welcome, Deidre. Deidre, welcome Erica, welcome Waldine is going by so fast. Welcome Beth, welcome everyone. If you are a business-minded, faith-driven woman, and you want to know how to build a business that one puts God first, you are in the right spot. If you are a faith-driven businesswoman and you want to enhance your speaking skills, your marketing skills, you want to learn more about systems, whether you have a service-based business or a product-based business. I mean, we're talking about our powerhouses that come here are in any sector from multi-level marketing to photography to marketing itself to coaching to speaking to authors. If that is you, fashion and food, if that is you, then you are in the right spot. Most of you already know who I am. You saw the video in the waiting room, and you also saw a little video as the stream uploaded about a few minutes ago. But I am Coach Queen. I am a kingdom business speaking strategist, and I am so honored that God would send you my way so that I can be a vessel that pours into you. Boy, do we have an exciting hour for you today, my loves. Oh, thank you, Yay Drake. Yes, listen, I had to go rewrap everything because your guest speaker today, Aunt Dee, she has on yellow. And I was like, well, let me bumblebee it just like you with the black and yellow. And so anytime I get an opportunity to wear yellow, I absolutely love it. Now, before we get into anything, I want to share a scripture with you guys. And let me brace you because for some of you, this scripture may hijack your amygdala. The amygdala is that piece of the brain that regulates flight, freeze, or fight. And it's about the size of your thumbnail. And when we talk about money, some of you shake, you quiver. But I'm here to tell you that God didn't create you with a spirit of fear. And so today is all about you and your financial gain. And so in preparation for us pouring into you and your finances and how we can help get you there, I'm going to share this scripture with you from Ecclesiastes. So let me open up my screen here. Share screen. Most of you guys know I rock with Bible Gateway pretty hard. I love Bible Gateway because it gives me all of the different versions of chapters and verses. And for those of you that are working on your relationship with God and you want to start by just getting to know his word, one of the things I would recommend you do is absolutely get to know apps like Bible Gateway. One of the reasons why you want to do that is because once you read one version, I highly recommend that you go back and read all of the different versions that are, not all of them, but like pick 3 or 4 that are your favorite ones. So like, for example, if I'm speaking to kids, then I will read from the English Standard Version because it tends to land softer on the ears of our youth. But sometimes when I just want it straight with no chaser, if I could say that, I go to the New King James Version or King James Version, or Sometimes if I'm feeling a certain type of way, I go to the NIV. All right, let's get into it. All right, Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19 says, "A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things." And here's where I want you to focus. Money answereth all things. If you remember, last week, we talked about Zacchaeus. I mean, we really dived into Luke 19 and we talked about Zacchaeus. If you remember, Zacchaeus was this short tax collector and it seemed like he had it all. I mean, he was rich, he was living the life of luxury. But although he was rich and he had it going on, something just wasn't right. And so he was seeking Jesus, like many of you and I, like we do and did, seeking Jesus. And he was seeking Jesus. And so we had to stop and answer, if he had everything, why was he seeking Jesus? And that is because money is the answer to all things. So he had a solution to all things, but there was something else that just was not right. And so I want you to sit back and I want you to think about all of the problems in your life that are a thing problem, a thing problem. Like maybe you're tired of living in an apartment and you want a house, or maybe you want a bigger house, or maybe you want to move, or maybe you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Those are thing problems. And so Aunt Dee is going to come on in a second, and she is going to talk about how you can get financial stability so that you can solve some of those thing problems. Now, before I bring her on, let me remind you guys that next week we're going to be talking about how you can extract from scripture and you can craft your own message in alignment with scripture, all right? And how you can bring your message to the people, because some of you are saying, well, Coach Queen, listen, I know I feel this pull to speak on stages, to speak to men or women or children, but I don't know if I'm going to be impactful. I don't know if I'm going to be influential. I don't know if I'm going to be memorable. And so one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to do some exercises next week. So you don't want to miss out next week. We're going to do some exercises. I'm going to show you not all of the things, because that'll take forever. Some of the key pointers that I learned in seminary school that's going to help you to extract messages better. And you're going to be able to repurpose the keys and secrets and principles that I'm going to share with you next week, not just for biblical scripture, but also for all of the other content that you digest in life. So that when you watch Netflix don't hit you the same. So when you read a book, that content don't hit you the same. We're going to download some software in your brain so that when you absorb, you're going to find different ways to create messages that affect the whole person, not just the mind, not just the soul, but the entire person. Okay. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it, because I definitely want to turn the mic over to Deneen. I've been knowing Deneen, I think it's been about 2 years now. About 2 years, I think it's been. And one of the things that I absolutely love about Deneen is when we first met, she came with, a field of understanding that was so spectacular. And I knew from the moment that I met her, I was like, oh God, thank you. I love this woman. Deneen has over 2 decades in the financial industry. As a matter of fact, she was a lending and financial services officer for one of the biggest financial institutions that you've ever heard of. I'll let her share that with you. Over 2 decades. And my loves, what I love about what she's doing now is that she's able to extract from her experience, from her problems, from her work, from her education. Not only did she take all of that and bundle it up to help you today, but she also started her own business. She solves tax problems and financial problems for business-minded women like you. And today she said, you know what, Queen, I need to come and speak to the ladies there doing kingdom business, because I am tired of these ladies living paycheck to paycheck. I am tired of these ladies just shedding all of this blood and sweat, and they have no reward to show for it. I am tired of these ladies putting everybody and everything first, and they're not taking time out for themselves. Even if you take a glance at her Facebook, you will see that she lives what she is going to share with you. She lives it. Not only is she doing her thing, running her business, but she takes time out to travel and enjoy life. And I absolutely love that about her. So she's going to present some secrets to you, just three secret, simple solutions on how you can pay yourself first, my loves. And at the end, when she's done, she's probably going to take a few questions. But even with that said, when we go out into the breakout sessions, she has volunteered and said, hey, listen, Coach Queen, I'm absolutely fine. Put me in a breakout room. I'll stay there and stay a little while longer and answer any questions. So for those of you that have burning questions as she's presenting, make sure you write your questions down. You can ask her the question out here on the main floor, or you can ask her the question in the breakthrough room. And when you stay to the end, my loves, when you stay to the end of her presentation, she has a special gift for you. And so without further ado, my loves, my sister, my friend, Aunt Dee, come on to the mic, my love.
Oh, wow. That was a lot for me to follow up on. But thank you, Coach Queen, for that glowing introduction. So, you guys, it's so nice to see you. Heidi, Deidre, Sandra, Erica, all you guys. So nice to see you. And I appreciate you guys hanging, giving us a time to come out your busy day. Let me share a little bit about you from the other side of my life that was not so glowing. You know how Coach Queen says that we should use what we have been through to encourage others. So, like many of us growing up, I grew up with a home with a single mom. So one parent household, which means that we were kind of latchkey kids. And I know this, I was born in the 70s, so you probably don't remember what latchkey kids was, but we had our key around our neck and we were responsible for coming home and making your own meals. And I will say that it was times when we came home and we only could make sugar sandwiches because we had no meat. And that's just bread and sugar for y'all that don't know about that, or spam. And I vowed to myself, I would never eat spam again. There was so many ways that my mom tried to stretch and make things work. But that's what happened. And when I grew up, I said, I can't wait to graduate, get out of her house, right? Because we want to be independent. I wanted to get out the house, and whew, no one taught me about bills. No one taught me the importance of credit. So what did I do? Like most young people, I started using my credit cards as my savings. And girl, I wanted to be cute because I wanted to go to the club, and I wanted to get my hair done. And what's wrong with the little credit card? Just swipe it at the gas station. Just keep on swiping. And then I found out, like most of us, that it wasn't such a bright idea. I think when I started working at Citibank in a long time ago, I'm not going to give y'all my age. More than 2 decades ago, I remember I was like, I'm finally making money. I think I want to buy a house, right? So I'm all excited, and I go to the lender, and the lender was like, you need at least a 650 credit score. And at the time, of course, I didn't have any of that because I've been balling with my friends, right? Like most of us, it's like my savings was my credit card. So, I mean, we're all family here. So I don't know if you ever felt like this before, but walking to the mailbox to get bills that I do not have the money to pay, trying to go out with friends to eat, and I do not have the money to go. It was embarrassing. It was humbling. And, like they used to say in the old folks, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? And you're trying to figure it out. And I remember my uncle is like one of my financial mentors. And it's important, you guys. one of the things I want you to take away from this is have a mentor. It's great to have several. I have some for finances, I have one for spiritual mentorship, I have one for accountability, that you're going to give me the straight, like Coach Queen just said, no chaser, right? So at this time, we need that kind of thing in our lives, right? So I remember my dad said, my uncle dad is what I call him, is my mom's oldest brother. He said, baby girl, in this authoritative voice, he said, let me give you three things in life. Never overextend credit, always pay yourself first, and always have cash on hand. So Proverbs 15:22 says, without counsel, many will fail, but with advisors, we will succeed. That was by the King Solomon. I was listening to my uncle dad because this is a man that had paid off his house. All his cars were paid for in full. I don't know about y'all, but I only have paid off one car. I like cars. So, I was like, okay, so maybe he has just a little bit of something there. So I began paying off some credit card debt, listing my credit card debt, listing everything. And I decide to give myself 5%, right? Just put 5% in another banking account. What did that do for me? That did a lot for me. Fast forward to April 2022. I've been doing taxes for 17 years. I've been at Citibank for over 20 something years. And I was just burnt out. I was like, the higher I got up the corporate ladder, the more I couldn't stand it. So I decided to step out on faith. And what I learned is me paying myself, me making sure that I was a good steward over my money and what God has blessed me with. I was able to step out of corporate America. It's been 2 years and I have not touched even $5 of my savings. Not even $5, right? Because God is good. What we learn is when we do stuff according to his will and his plan, that he will take care of us. But the blessing that I had on my ears, I had an accountability partner. I had somebody always telling me to round up on your checking account. You know how we used to do the check ledgers? Round up. I remember my sister was talking to me one day and I was like, round up, I need everything. Like, why am I rounding up? So, but once I started just really taking control of my finances, I was able to buy my first house at 23. I was able to get out of credit card debt. I'm able to travel the world. And I'm like, okay, what can I do for those? So I'm going to need y'all to use the chat a little bit. I'm going to ask you a question. So let's have a little fun. If you were to classify your current financial situation, would you be in the middle of a storm? Would everything be okay? Would it be sunny skies? How would it be? Let's put it in the chat so I can kind of get a temperature check. Okay. Who else? I know, don't be scared. Sunny, wishing for more. Okay, good. Pretty good to be okay, floating. Okay, we float. Okay, we float. Okay, it's a storm. Okay, all right. You know what? I've been there, right? I've been where I don't have anything to rely on but me. But paying yourself is great. It's great for a lot of reasons. We pay everybody else, right? We pay the mortgage company, we pay the electric bill, we do things for our kids. But why, us women, where we wear so many hats, we put ourselves last? We put ourselves last, right? So for me, paying myself first meant that I was going to be able to do a lot of things that I like to do. Like Coach Queen mentioned earlier, I love to travel. That was one of my biggest hesitancies when God asked me, well, God didn't ask me nothing. He told me. I didn't know I was going to step out of corporate America. I thought I was going to stay there. I finally made it to senior vice president of global compliance and risk for chief of staff for Citibank. Who That's even a mouthful for me to say, and especially without being degree. But look at God. So he already knew that he had a bigger plan for me, right? So stepping out, two things that I did not want to give up. I did not want to give up my travel, right? I did not want to give up my travel. I mean, I love Paris and London and Dubai and things like that. I didn't want to give that up. But I realized that because I had been preparing all along and had been a good steward over my money, that these are tools that I can show somebody else. Like, who wouldn't want to still travel? Who wouldn't want to still, because I got a boyfriend to fun. Uh-huh. His name is Amazon. Y'all might not know him, but me and Amazon, we got a good old relationship going on. So y'all might not be like me, but I'll tell you, like, it was very, very important for me to not lose the knee. Say that again, to not lose the knee. So what did that mean? That meant that I sat back and I took the problems that my clients have been rolling over for 17 years. And to be honest, which is quite frustrating to me, is that people leave money on the table, or they don't understand that as a single business owner, when you're just starting out, that you have about $10,000 that you can write off. Or they don't understand that even your cell phone bill is now a business expense. And why are you still paying it out of your personal account? There was so many things that weren't told, right? And there was not someone that I can, even though my uncle was great, he always worked in corporate America, right? I needed someone that I could understand. And I was like, you know what? You. So why don't you help other people do what you're doing? I know most of us are on this call are in business for ourselves. So let me just ask. One of the major things is, who else is your business partner? For those of you that are in business, that you are entrepreneurs, who is your business partner? Are you in business alone? Put yes or no in the chat. Okay. All right. All right. No, I know a lot of us put God, he already in it, right? So he in it before we were in it. But the other business partner is the I to the R to the S. Whether we want to or not, we are all responsible for paying federal taxes. Some of us are responsible for paying state taxes. And then here's a little bonus tax that people don't tell you as an entrepreneur. You are required to pay self-employment tax. So that's another 15.3% of your wages and earnings. And that goes to Medicaid and Social Security, right? So we don't understand that. And you know what? As the tax collector, like Coach Queen talked about it on the last class, right? Taxes go back to the biblical days. Do we want to pay them? No, we don't. Most people, we don't want to pay taxes. But let me tell you just a very, very short story about paying taxes. My brother has been running his business for over 20 years. He was like, I'm not going to pay the IRS. I'm not going to pay taxes. I'm not going to do that. He went down in his truck of running his business for over 20 years. And guess what? He gets a month, $600 for Social Security. And that's it, because he didn't pay in all those years when he was making 200,000 and 300,000. And yeah, we don't want to, but why can't we figure out a way to reduce those taxes and not run from them? Why can't we figure out a way to be in control of stuff, right? Y'all remember this? Who remembers this? This little piggy bank. You remember when we was little? Everybody had a little piggy bank. Yes. When did we stop doing this for ourselves? I guess some when we became mothers, when we became wives, everything else took over and we forgot about ourselves. So I'm going to challenge you today to look a little bit deeper into it. And I'm going to give you some foundations that I give my clients when they first come to me, right? So one of the things is, I'm going to use the chat again because I want y'all to be interactive, because I want to know how much you know. I don't want to talk to you about some things that you already know, but How many accounts, if you're new in starting business, what do you recommend? How many accounts should you have? Should it be 3 accounts? Should it be 2 accounts? How many accounts, bank accounts, do you think that you should have? Okay. All right. All right. So, yeah, in total, about 4. But one thing that I tell new business owners when we're just starting out, definitely you need to have a business account at a separate bank. And even if you are DBA, you're doing business as, and you haven't correctly or maybe established your business, and it's just going to be DW, Deneen Williams, right? At another bank, you want to put a bank account at a separate bank that all of your business money is going into that, and any expenses is coming out of that. And then you want a personal account at another bank, right? And the reason for that is that you do not want to co-mingle funds at all, right? There is a couple of phases that you should go through. One thing is the reason why I usually, when y'all are on this call, I usually have my pretty business background, but today I didn't want to do that. I wanted to show you how I have my vision boards, right? Vision boards are very, very important. Why are they important? They're important because without vision, we will perish. It's in the Bible. Habakkuk 2:2. The prophet Habakkuk, and I know I'm saying it wrong, engages in a dialogue with God. And he's expressing his concerns about the apparent injustice of the world, right? And he's asking God for directions, and he assures him to write the vision, make it plain on tablets, and then run and read it, right? If you don't know where you're going, if you do not have a financial outlook, if you don't have a vision, some of my business boards, one of them is for 2022 that I picked that I wanted to increase my business and I wanted to stand up and be a leader. And yeah, guess what? He took me out of corporate America. That ain't what I said. But if I look back at my vision, in order for my visions to come true, we had to step out. We had to step out. So I want you guys that are not driving, just take a few minutes, just take a few minutes and think about, imagine what you would look like 5 years from now if you could have financial freedom. What does it look like? What does financial freedom look like to you? My best friend and I was having this conversation just the other day, and he was like, if I have, 500K in the bank and this, and he was saying a lot of things. He's a numbers guy, which is great. I said, for me, financial freedom looks like not being able to miss an event because I have to work overtime, being able to spend time with my niece and my nephew and encourage them and go visit them, and just being able to walk to the mailbox without fearing what's in it. So I'm going to ask 2 people to unmute just for give you 1 minute to tell us what 5 years from now, what does financial freedom look like to you? I need 2 volunteers, just 2 volunteers, not putting you on the spot. Okay, somebody said residual, Kiara, residual income from my real estate investments in where I don't pay bills. Well, girl, where you at? Where you don't? Do you not ever pay bills? Cause I want to be on that journey. It seems like a bill is always it's
I
always
don't
coming.
pay I don't pay mortgage for sure, but I'm trying to get to a point where my real estate investments pay all of my bills and I have residual income.
Okay, great. Oh, no mortgage, that's a big thing. Great, congratulations. Uh Next, who has their hand up? Coach Wayne, help me out there.
So this is what I want to do. I want to give you guys 30 seconds to just kind of meditate on the answer to this question. And then once you have a good gain some good ground on your answer, I want you to raise your digital hand. To raise your digital hand, the only thing you have to do is go to the toolbar below and press raise hand. Again, this is excellent practice for when you are on your platforms. But before we do that, who wouldn't mind unmuting and sharing what is the one rule we have here on this platform? I need to remind.
Never miss the opportunity to take the mic.
Oh, hey, Rukama. That's right.
Hey,
Never pass up the opportunity to take the mic. So right, Rukama. And please don't pass up the opportunity to take the mic. And loves, just remember, as I always say, it is easy to do when you remember that you're speaking to share. You're not speaking to impress. Your answer may very well help somebody else. And so before I give you the 30 seconds, just to kind of think about it, because you need to sit in this space and think about it regardless if you're going to answer out loud or not. Aunt Dee, will you please repeat the question?
Sure. Imagine yourself 5 years from now, right? And you have achieved complete financial freedom, whatever that means to you, right? What does that look like 5 years from now? Complete financial freedom. What does it look like?
Perfect. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Just sit in this answer. And if you feel moved, my love, go ahead and raise your digital hand using the toolbar below so that Aunt Dee can pull you to the stage. Your 30 seconds to just kind of think about your answer. I mean, take it seriously because the Lord says, you know, if you don't ask, you can't receive. Actually, sit and think about your answer. Your 30 seconds, it begins now.
All right, are we ready?
You like me, you got that military spirit.
Man, that military spirit, it's like, come on, come on.
Look,
We gave you 30 seconds, but we gave you a minute.
10 seconds. No, 30 seconds was 10 seconds. All right. They're all yours, my love. Raise your digital hand if you are ready to bless us with just some of your thoughts. Remember, you're speaking to share. You're not speaking to impress.
Okay, so I think it's Rakuma.
okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Um, I will own my own home, and I will be able to travel to workshops and events very freely and fluently. I will also be a contribution to other people by the work that I do or the ministry that I've created to help women transform their lives from trauma and emotional disconnect. They will be feeling whole within themselves. And it will because I feel even more present financially and I will have gained financial literacy.
Oh, wow. Love that. Love that. So not only do you have a dream for yourself of what financial freedom looks like, you also want to give back to others. Oh my God. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. All right, E, tell us about you.
Peace to all. Thank you. It's an honor to even answer this question. Freedom, financial freedom, I imagine it being providing self-sufficiency. So land and being able to like grow on food. And I imagine like being able to take children on trips so they can explore their world and expound on just numerous things that they don't have currently. So financial freedom to me is just ultimately just being and able to contribute to what I want to see the world to be. And that's just be people being in their glory and not being restrained because of finances. So I'll be able to provide in that. So I'm looking forward
Wow.
to it.
Yes, yes, love it, love it. Looking forward to it, and definitely can make it happen. Definitely can make it happen. I told you about my first house at 23. I'm not gonna tell y'all how old I am, so it's 3, 4 houses later. But anyway, love it, love it. Hi, Miss Heidi.
Hello. So appreciate you and Coach Queen and everybody. So I want to be able to travel and enjoy time with the grandbabies, quality time, and freedom to travel when and where we want to go, and then also to have them at my house to enjoy the space that we have created here, and then also sharing and helping others with, you know, stepping out of their comfort zones, and yeah, all that stuff.
Thank you, Heidi. I know Heidi personally, so I'll put that in. She's one of the clients I actively work with, and it's great to thank you, Heidi, for your support, and also thank you for sharing, because it's such a blessing to be able to give back to our grandkids and our nieces and our nephews, and show what real sisterhood looks like. Right? I know everybody. I'm going to get to you, Christine. I just wanted to say this to Heidi real quick. It's just wonderful to support each other in this space and feel like family, because no answer is right or wrong, right? Everybody has their own dreams. And Christine, what's going on, love?
Hey, good morning, Aunt Dee. Thank you so much for this valuable message and time. 5 years from now, I would love the ability to travel. My dad traveled to all continents, and I'm so far behind. So that would be one of my goals, is to travel and minister the gospel as I travel, because I have financial freedom. I'm also going to have the capability to sow into the less privileged, because I've been through some rough times, and it's just my passion and my heart to want to help others who've been in a situation that I've been in. Lastly, I'll be owning my homes and businesses and having employees that are well paid, okay? That are well paid, their wages, what they're worth. So that is what I want to do. And also, I'll be changing lives as a life coach, helping divorced women become unstuck. So that is what I'd like to be 5 years from now.
Ooh, y'all are on it. I love this. I love this. I mean, look at these kingdom women trying to build space outside of them. And you know what? I noticed the commonality about all of what you guys said. You didn't just keep it to yourselves. You wanted to share the blessings of financial freedom. That goes back to when I was talking about all these hats we wear, right? All of these different things that we are responsible for and want to give back, and then we are left at the end, right? So we talked about there's 3 ways to go from paying yourself. One, I want to ask you guys, are y'all familiar with KPIs? Does anybody know what KPIs? You want to unmute and tell us what KPIs are?
Look, I
Key
didn't want
performance indicators.
look, I was
Yeah.
just about to take it. I was like, I don't want to cheat, but
Oh.
yes, yes.
Key performance indicators. I remember when I was back at City and I said, oh my God, I cannot wait to get away from all these reportings and all of these stats and everything that we have to do every month as leaders in the company. And then I realized that in our business, we need to understand our key performance indicators. So the first thing that I do when I recommend when someone is going through my coaching session. So let me stop a little bit right here. So I have a coaching session, which is called Grace with Finances. Does anybody know how to do grace in sign language? Okay, well, we're going to learn today. So follow after me. It's 2 circles and then a hand over your heart. So 2 circles and then a hand over your heart. And as I was thinking about how grace and finances works, it comes from your mind and then it goes to your heart, right? We have grace in so many other things and areas of our lives, but we never give ourselves grace with finances. right? We've all messed up, we've all did things, but Grace with Finances focuses on 5 key areas. For the sake of today, we're only going to focus on one, but I'm going to tell you all the 5 key areas. So Grace stands for grow your goals. So one of the goals that I give my clients is we're going to learn how to pay yourself. Number 2 is reducing taxable income, meaning we're going to look at all your finances. We're going to see what's going out, what subscriptions need to be canceled. Why are you paying this person? What are you doing? Is this something you can do for yourself? So, and then at the end, when we're done with all our expenses, we are able to reduce our taxable income because we've reduced our expenses, and then we've already allowed the expenses and our revenue to go where it needs to go. And then the A is adapting a mindset of abundance. God wants us to be abundant. He wants us to be able to share our gifts. Like what we were just talking about, when they were saying their goals and what their financial freedom looks like, most everybody included somebody else, right? So if we don't adopt an abundance mindset, how do we get there? And then C is to continuously monitor your finances. Those of you that may have QuickBooks, some other tools, you have to go in and balance that out. You have to reconcile. It's not just a hit it and quit it tool. You have to be responsible for that. You know, or unless you're paying somebody, and that can run you upwards of $300+ a month, right? And then QuickBooks can run you upwards from $60 a month and up. So those are tools that we have to pay to be in business. But what if I told you I have a solution for you? And then E is engaging emotional money management practices. So as women, we emotionally spend. I was looking at this survey, and it basically said that women, according to a survey by Credit Karma, 80% of the women have admitted to emotional spending compared to 60% of the men. Therefore, 20% are more likely to be in debt longer. We're going to change some stats. We're going to learn emotional money management practices, right? And if we can learn that, then I'm not going to be in that percentage. You know, I can think just like a man or better. I'm sorry, I can. And I will, and I did, right? So those are some things that we have to think about what to do. So the first thing that I would say, if you don't already do this, get a spreadsheet and write down all of your bills. I mean, down to the cable bill, the electric bill, what are you paying, your subscriptions? Why is this important? This is important because as a business owner, you need to learn, how do I pay myself? Well, you can't even decide on how to pay yourself if you don't know what your bills look like. Number one. Number two, you need to be able to write down everything in comparison to what you are doing in your business, your operations, your business operations. And your KPIs, if you don't keep performance indicators, let you know how you're doing in those areas, right? So for me, my KPI looks like the first part of the year, for the first 6 months when I'm doing taxes, that is my big bulk of money, right? And then my coaching sustains me throughout the year. My coaching, my bookkeeping, any kind of things like that sustain me during the year, right? So, but you have to know what your storms are. You know, when we talked about what's your weather forecast, what does that look like, right? What is operationally do I need to have in my account? So if your account, if you look at all your bills that are business related, whether it's your cell phone, your internet, you purchased a new computer, you need all of these things, say it comes out to $2,000 a month. You need at least $6,000 set aside for operations. And the reason why I say that is because your business needs to steady operate if you can. You have commitments to other people, right? And whether you have a contractor or somebody else, you need to make sure they are not infected in your down seasons, right? So those are some of the things that we get you to look at, like a holistic view, right? What are you doing in operations? Is it the right thing? Or are you spending too much money on marketing and it's not giving you the revenue you need? So then we need to find a new marketing strategy. All of those things need to be assessed, continuously monitoring the C in grace. You need to continuously monitor your finances. And then also make sure you have separate bank accounts. Why is this important? It is so easy to dip in and out. It's so easy to dip in and out. So what I have is my business bank account and my business savings. That's 2 accounts, right? My business savings, I put like 30% that automatically goes for taxes, because didn't we talk about you got federal taxes, you have your state taxes if you're in a state. Texas is not one of them, thank God. And then you have self-employment taxes if you're not an S corp, right? So there's different business requirements, right? So you need to make sure that you automatically put at least 30% aside for taxes, right? So what I do is I have it automatically go over, because what I don't miss what I can't see. And then the great part about it is if I have it over there, right, I can pay my quarterly taxes if I need to pay my quarterly taxes, or at the end of the quarter, the end of the year, I can give myself an owner's comp, because I was able to do what I said I was going to do, right? So that's 2 accounts. And then I draw a check and pay me to my personal account. But how do you pay yourself? You got to learn what your bills are, right? What finances that you're really responsible for. And then I also give myself like $10, $20, $30 just to put aside for me. That's for me and my man, because then I tell you I got Amazon. He requires a lot out of me every month, and he keeps on coming back, and he comes to my house. So my emotional money management is definitely with Amazon. But I will tell you that stepping out on faith, I did have to pull back from some things, right? I had to, he's not your man, Coach Queen. I did have to pull back from some things in order for me not to go into my savings account, because I still have a mortgage and a car note and people that depend on me. I did have to pull back on some things. That meant I can't travel as much. So this year I only took 4 trips. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I will be going to Greece. I will be going to Costa Rica in December. I will do these things, because guess what? They replenish me, right? I can't give it all to someone else and I didn't take care of me. So that's why I say that you need to put something aside from you, some kind of reward. You know, I've went through all this. How can I reward myself? And then the last one. So we talked about 1, writing down all your bills, whether they're personal or whether they're business, right? And tools like QuickBooks and NetSuite and all that, that's great for your business, but you need to know financially. Another reason why you need to know what your bills are financially is, as an individual, what if your husband, if you're responsible for paying the bills, right? Most women, most of the time, that's the case. But if you're responsible for paying the bills and something happens to you, how does he know, or she know, or whatever? How do they know where to go and start? How do they know that you just changed electric companies that you should shop every year? How do they know that you should change insurance companies that you should shop every year? Yesterday, I called my cable company, and I was like, I'm tired of paying $170. Why did they take it down to $104 with my cell phone bill every month? Y'all, we have not because we ask not. Right? So we need to start picking up the phone and giving 5-10 minutes to, shopping our insurance, making sure our cell phone bills, everything that we are responsible for, and making sure someone else knows that. Since my sister and I, we are roommates, we share like, hey, here's my passwords to this, this is this to this. But one condensed spreadsheet that has all that, this is what I have to pay. So what I'm saying is, as business owners, number 1, you need to know what's going on in your operations account, and you need to know what's going on in your household. And someone else needs to be accountable for that so they can know also, because that's not what we want to do. We don't want to put ourselves in a situation. So that, number one, make sure you write everything down. I mean, everything. Everything. It's going to take a minute. It's the tedious task, but I tell you, it's going to be worth it. The two is separate your business from your personal. I know everybody has said that, but you need to separate your business from your personal. And then also, you need to regularly review and be accountable for those. Look at your finances. Make sure someone else is looking at it. If you want financial freedom, I know a lot of people say, well, I want to pay off my house. Okay, so let's sit down and figure it out. Let's pay more money to the principal. If you refinance, when the refinance boom came out, I refinanced my house to 2.3% and shortened it to 15 years instead of 30 years, right? A lot of people don't believe in refinancing. Let's do the numbers. Let's see what it can do, because then in those 15 years from 30 years, I'm going to pay it off in 7. That's the goal, right? So like she said, she doesn't want a mortgage. Great. Or one person said they didn't even have a mortgage. I'm like, ooh, I want to get there. Woo! What does that feel like, right? So I can save this $1,700 a month that I'm paying, right? So I'm saying everything you can get there if you have the tools. Coach Queen, do you want me to go ahead and share what I'm offering, or do you want me to do it?
Oh, yes, please go ahead and I will drop the link.
Okay. So as I was saying, there were several resources to assist you. But one thing that I did coming out of corporate America, I said, number one, someone taught me how to do taxes. They didn't show me how to run a tax business, right? Number two, it was like pulling teeth to get someone to help you with your finances. And you also need someone that you can trust. So we found a need that for new entrepreneurs who cannot afford to pay $300 a month for a bookkeeper, or they cannot afford to pay for just, you know, you can't afford to pay for QuickBooks every month. So what we came up with a solution that is easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can everybody see my screen? So we came up with a solution that basically it's a financial freedom dashboard. Okay, so it is Excel based and it's customized, totally customized to you, from your revenue to your success indicators. We will teach you how to look at your profit and loss. We will teach you how to do a comparison from year over year, month over month. And then when you decide, yes, I can afford to go to QuickBooks, or I can afford to pay somebody to do my taxes, you can do so at that time, because you know what? What's going to happen is you're going to know what all of these reports mean. The last thing you want to do is start running a business and you do not understand your business finances, right? You don't understand what a KPI is. You don't understand what a profit and loss. So then now you have somebody doing your books or being your bookkeeper, and they're just telling you anything. How do you know? How do you know, right? So this is a way, it's total.
We can't hear you.
Hey, Aunt Dee, you went mute for a second there. I love this. This is some real-time live action, you guys. And this is one of the things that I teach you guys. You know, when you're doing your presentation, it's not a matter of if technology is going to glitch up on you. It's a matter of when. And one of the things I want you to always remember is that when it happens to you, because it will happen to you, remember that people look to you to determine if something is embarrassing. People look to you to determine if something is rocky. And as long as you keep your cool, which you will, because God didn't create you with a spirit of fear, which you will just keep rolling on. All right, so let me text Deneen and tell her she probably don't have her phone right there, and let her know that we can't hear her. But just stay tuned and keep looking at the screen. And here is the deal: whatever you missed once she comes back is absolutely fine. You will have an opportunity to go into a breakthrough room and ask her as many questions as you see fit, and she can finish explaining this to you as well. Okay. No problem. This is what I'll do just so that we don't lose time. In a second, I'm going to beam you all up into your breakthrough rooms. You're going to self-select your breakthrough room. Okay. Can you hear me now, Auntie? Because we couldn't hear you. You can hear me? Oh, we still can't hear you. You have to, yeah, your sound. It's probably your microphone cord. Sometimes the Blue Yeti, the cord may have come out.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Was it the cord?
Oh, yeah, it was the
It got me a few times too.
I apologize, you guys, but real quick, and then we'll go into the breakout room. So it's a customized dashboard, right? So it's customized for you, but it's also customized to prepare you for taxes all year long. So if you're tracking your finances, if you're tracking your meals, your entertainment, your business, anything that you are responsible for in your business, right? If you are tracking that, it will come up on a dashboard, right? So you'll be able to see what's your operating expenses. And we teach you all this, right? So you're not by yourself. You'll also get a profit and loss that's built out for 3 years. So the system is built out for 3 years and is shared with me if you so desire. But the reason why I keep it on my share drive is because if you get stuck, if you start a new business idea, if you know, Deneen, I don't know if I traveled over here and I don't know if I can make it a business expense. I jump in with you, right? And so at the end of the year, when you go to your tax professional, all you have to do is send them your spreadsheet. Everything is mapped out in the correct category with the correct figures. Also, we give you a little, here's what you should pay in federal taxes, state taxes, local taxes. So everything is giving you an estimate so you won't have that guesswork and you will no longer be afraid of taxes. And you will no longer be afraid to put yourself on the budget and figure out what you need to do so you can pay yourself and your operating account is good. So that is what we offer. It is a tool in the midst of, you know, when you're starting out, right? Because what I do want to do is give entrepreneurs resources that they can have and access to me too, because I come along with the dashboard, but where you're not feeling alone. Okay, so I definitely will share a little bit more about financial literacy. And Coach Queen, do you want to do the breakout rooms?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And hey, listen, before I beam you up, I'm going to drop a link. Aunt Dee so graciously has decided that she's going to give you guys a substantial discount. Um, and it goes towards her services. I'm going to put the link in the chat if you will be so kind, because once we hang up, you won't have access to the links. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I want you to go ahead and just click that link now so that it's open for you. And plus, I want to make sure that that link is compatible with your computer, that you have no issues. Click that link. And then also, let's take a second here and love on our sister Aunt Dee. I want to make sure we celebrate her. I would love it if you would put a 1-sentence testimony about what you got from this training with Aunt Dee. Just put it in the chat, just 1 sentence. I know that I love the strategy of the 4. I currently have 4 bank accounts, but I do not have one for a spouse. And right now I'm in single ministry, but should God decide to bless me with a spouse, I look forward to opening up that 5th for the spouse. And so you definitely have me thinking about that. I love how Aunt Dee came in and just stimulated your mind about finances. It's amazing that the things that drive us crazy, the things that we don't do, the things that we are most uncomfortable with are the things that we need to do to get to the other side of success. And a lot of the times we as women, we just don't want to talk about finances unless we are reminding somebody that they owe us money. You have an opportunity here to play the offense instead of the defense when it comes to your financial game. And so I love the questions that Aunt Dee, who is a thought leader, that she posed about what would your future look like if your finances had it going on? I tell you, for me, my annual income would be my monthly income. Maybe I'm dreaming too small. Maybe my annual income would be my weekly income. Ooh, that would change the game for me. All right. So I want you, please, I'm give you 30 seconds of silence, and then I'm going to beam you up into the breakout rooms. 30 seconds, just take 30 seconds and type in at least one sentence about what you got out of today's session with Aunt Dee. Like, what was the most pivotal thing for you, the thing you love most, or something that maybe she just made you think about, you haven't thought about in a while. Your 30 seconds to just write that one sentence testimony, and then also to click that link. It begins now. Oh, wow. I'm loving this. Thank you. Okay, so continue. For those of you that are still working on your one sentence testimony, continue writing it. In the meantime, let me orient you to the breakthrough rooms. I'm going to send you into a breakthrough room, and you can choose, you self-select with your mouse which room you want to go in, and go to as many rooms as possible. One room you can go into, you can talk about great marketing ideas. If you are great at marketing, or maybe you found out some great marketing idea strategy out there, then pour into the room about that subject. If you have questions, ask questions when you're in that room. The next room is great speaking ideas. Maybe you have questions about how to get on stage, or maybe you have solutions to how to get on stage, or how to come up with great titles. Then go into that room and talk about it. Maybe you want to talk about some books and podcasts that you love. Y'all know I love the book Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. That book is a game changer for those of you that want to bring some content to your stage. Again, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Maybe you want to talk about maybe you want to go into the networking room and just say, hey, listen, let's figure out how we can fit into each other's lives. So go ahead and grab your networking information so that you can network like a professional. And then lastly, Aunt Dee is going to meet you in the Talk with Aunt Dee room. Maybe you got some questions that, some financial solution type questions that Aunt Dee can help you with. And so jump into that Talk with Aunt Dee room so that she can keep going and take you guys to a higher level. Again, jump around when you get in there. Don't hog the mic, but don't be completely quiet. This is your opportunity to take things to the next level. Okay. All right. So I think that, I love this, Diane, Pastor Diane Owens. Yes, I know. Okay. So I'm going to open up the rooms now. And please go ahead and self-select and jump into your rooms and enjoy each other. You're here for a reason. Get what you came to get, my loves. If you have any issues getting into your breakthrough room, all you have to do is unmute and say, Coach Queen, put me in the marketing room, or put me in the speaking idea room, or the books room, or the networking room, or Coach Queen, I need to talk to Aunt Dee like right now. Put me in that room. Or you can type it in the chat and I will put you in that room. I can start you off. Otherwise, you should see something that says join on your screen. Press join, jump into the room you want to go in. If you're on your cell phone, you may have to go to tools on your toolbar, tools, and then breakout rooms. Again, I'm sitting here, I'm listening. If you need any assistance, just unmute and tell me which room you want to go in, or type it in the chat. I got you. You guys are doing beautifully. Sandra's in the networking room. Got quite a few folks jumping in the room with Aunt Dee. Pam is in the marketing room. All right.
Hey, everybody, welcome back.
Teach me how to
Oh, that's my
receive
song.
every
I
blessing,
love that song.
every blessing.
Listen, let me go ahead and drop the link to this song while
Teach
it's
me how to
playing.
receive
Okay, before I close out, Deneen, do you have anything you want to say?
every blessing.
I just thank you guys for your participation. I hope you learned something today. The $50 off that we put for Queen 50, if you go and you book, it can go to any of our products, whether it's bookkeeping, whether it's taxes, the dashboard, or the Grace Model coaching, right? But get somebody that you understand, that you can relate to, like Aunt Dee, and you can tell, because I've been through it. So we're in it together. You win, I win. That's my company model.
Oh my goodness, I love that. And hey, thank you guys for coming out to do some kingdom business, to pour into your business, to pour into yourself. And just like Aunt Dee said, when you win, she wins. Well, when you win, the people you're called to help win as well. And so thank you for taking time out for the people that you're called to help. Hey, listen, make sure you show up on Tuesday, because we're going to talk about how you can write your own sermon. We're going to actually walk the life of a pastor and how pastors extract these powerful messages from the word so that they can come and deliver a powerful message to you guys, to the congregation. And so I hope you show up for that on Tuesday. For you first timers, again, welcome, welcome home, welcome to your community. You do not have to re-register. Once you are on our list, we will send you your email reminders. And if you registered with your phone number, again, we will send you your text reminders as well. And remember, loves, as you go about your day, never pass up the opportunity to take the mic. Thank you so much, Aunt Dee, for coming. Look, I just love you so much. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. Bye-bye, loves. Have a
Thank
beautiful
you.
day.
you. Thank you.
Bye-bye, loves.
Bye.